This is just meant to be a quick overview of how to think about pain and how the body processes pain. The bottom-up to top-down approach basically looks at where pain occurs in the body and then how the brain gets the information and what it does with that information. So say Roger here trips over the hurdle and injures his elbow. He now has an injury and things begin to happen at the site of that injury. The first step is going to be a localized inflammatory response at the site of the tissue trauma. So this can be in the muscle, in the tissue, in the skin. And what happens is cells like macrophages, which basically act like garbage trucks, and another cell type called mast cells, which are also cells that cause allergies to cats and pollen, become activated. And once activated, they release a host of inflammatory and immune mediators, including tumor necrosis factor, interleukins, histamine, bradykinin, adenosine, and neurotrophic growth factor, which cause the blood vessels to dilate and causes swelling and redness at the site of the injury, and then also activate other cells to kind of continue this process. Now that the localized response has occurred, the signal has to be sent to the brain. And for this to happen, this local inflammatory process activates C fibers and A delta fibers, which are neurons that travel through the spinal cord up to the brain. So when an injury occurs, there are little receptors at the end of those neurons, and they sense the signal and they activate the neuron, which then tells the brain what's going on. Okay, so the last step is actually the brain processing this information. And this occurs in multiple ways. There's a sensory discriminative process, and that basically means that it identifies where the pain's occurring and what type of pain has just happened. And then another major component is the affective motivational pathway, which involves activation of multiple regions of the brain that help you decide how you're going to process the pain or respond to it. So that's a general overview, and I'll go into more details in future episodes.